Yes, everybody, it's time to talk about where Manchester United and Ronaldo are going to fit in an actual game of football. Do you know what's crazy is the last time I did How to Beat, it was the Wolves game. And if you look at the opening 10, 15 seconds where I say, let's put all that Ronaldo talk behind us, I recorded that early doors on Friday morning before I had any idea that United was signing Ronaldo. So I was thinking, what's happened has happened. He's probably playing for City now. Let's move on with ourselves. However, by the time the edit was ready to be released, United had signed him. And the words still made sense. So we left it in. So this is actually we put him on a thumbnail because of course we did. This is actually the first preview that I'm doing where I'm looking at Cristiano Ronaldo going into Manchester United side. And I'll tell you this, I'm excited. Or I was excited until I actually put the full 11 in, and the reasons behind putting that full 11, it isn't quite as exciting as we hope it's going to be. But stick around, I'll get to the team sheet a little bit later on. But first, we have to talk about our opponents. That's why we're here. That's why you guys know this is the best fucking preview on YouTube. Fact. So Newcastle had a couple of notable signings over the course of the summer. The first of those I think was a great signing for them. That's Joe Willock. £26 million, a lot of money. And I do wonder, could they have got equal amount of quality for half the price or less, maybe even dipping into the Championship and finding some good players from there. The second player that they signed is Santiago Munoz. You what? Yeah. No, not Santiago Munez. As per the film Goal, hilariously, who went on to sign for Newcastle. Honestly, I hope Newcastle signed him just because of all of those things. But yeah, Santiago Munoz, he's on loan from Santos Laguna. And they've lost Atsu on a free. They lost Andy Carroll, who's just been released. They lost Lajune to Alaves. Muto, he's gone on a free. And Matty Longstaff has gone on loan to Aberdeen. They are currently lying in 17th place. They've got 2 losses and a draw. The losses coming against West Ham and Villa before pulling out a draw against Southampton. And the 4th game of the season against United is not the game that you want to be coming to Old Trafford for. Cristiano Ronaldo's second debut at United. You don't want to be coming to United for this. It's probably not going to go well for you in any stretch of the imagination. And I don't think Newcastle have necessarily got it in themselves to be a party pooper. So it's going to be a rough day at the office, I would have thought, for Newcastle and for Geordies. So Steve Bruce likes, or currently is playing, a 3-5-2 formation, which is pretty fluid offensively. Usually because they got a lot of space because they're playing against teams that have really pushed up because they like to sit deep with it. Defensively, it transitions into a 5-3-2, and it gives them good defensive versatility, and also it gives them a couple of outlets on the break. And if you're a team that's not going to dominate the ball, is probably defensively weaker than your opposition, you're the underdog going into 75% of the matches in the season, a back 3 with a forward 2 and packing that midfield and packing that lower third area, it is a great option and a great outlet because most people play with a single striker. And when you play with a single striker, 2 defenders can deal with that. 2 defenders, you've got redundancy there in case they beat that first man. And there's not many players that'll beat 2 men. When you have a forward 2, especially when it's someone with the dribbling of Alan Saint-Maximin, you actually can cause teams a lot of trouble because 1v1, and we'll get to him in a sec, 1v1 is unreal. So there's a lot to like about this as a system for a team that's going to be the underdog. If you was going to dominate the ball, I'm not sure a back 3 is the right thing for you. But anyway, they largely prioritize wing play in this, which is different to how a lot of people would rock a 3-5-2. They push the wing backs forward. That's quite normal. And the midfielders have the license to get in beyond, usually with a lot of third man running. And they are quick enough when they do that to be able to cause havoc and cause trouble. And they've got enough attack-minded players to be able to start putting teams under pressure. It's not a bad brand of football in the grand scheme of things. It's just the squad isn't littered with quality. It's got a couple of standouts like Saint-Maximin and then a few that are just ordinary. And I think they do have enough going forward to cause us problems, but there's a reason he's playing three at the back, and that is to cover up for the defensive frailties and weaknesses in the team, which he does definitely have at the back. My predicted 11 for Newcastle would be Woodman, Fernandes, Lascelles, Shah, Murphy, Willock, Longstaff, Almiron, Ritchie, Wilson, and Saint-Maximin. So let's talk about the star man then, Alan Saint-Maximin. Very much akin to Traore in his dribbling style. Obviously not in his physique, but in his dribbling style, very similar. Traore causes all sorts of problems, and Alan Saint-Maximin is in the 99th percentile as well for progressive carries, 8.66 per 90, and dribbles completed, which is 4.82 per 90 in Europe. He is an elite dribbler, like literally in the very, very top 1% of all dribblers in world football. He's got 1 goal, 1 assist in his opening 3 games, and he's been by far Newcastle's star performer and major threat. He's extremely quick, extremely skillful. He's direct, he's unpredictable, and he's a genuine match winner on his day. And United have to watch for him. United have to be able to shut him down. I actually think Varane can be that guy, but you also don't want him to be coming into the box. You've got to kind of slow him down and stop him prior to that. When he's given space, he's extremely difficult to dispossess from the ball, and he does have the ability to take opponents out of the game with his dribbling ability. You go to ground against him, you are gone. You are out of the game laters. And he's been given more freedom and more license to roam because of the threat this season. And he's not just isolated out on the wide areas. He will come central. He will drift. He will double up with someone on one flank. He will get in behind Wilson and cause havoc that way. And what you've got to expect with United are probably going to absolutely dominate the ball. Newcastle are going to completely collapse into their own box, leaving Saint-Maximin and Wilson high, which means that any balls that fall into that sort of no man's land, maybe just behind or just in front of our defence, if Saint-Maximin's on there first, United are in trouble, and he has got the ability to dribble 30, 40 metres and stick one top bins and hurt us completely against the run of play. That is the threat that I would be looking at if I'm Solskjaer and I'm going, right, what do I need to do? I'm going to need Wan-Bissaka on his game, and I'm going to need Varane on his game. What you probably don't want to see is Saint-Maximin drift over to our left-hand side, try and get in and around Shaw and Maguire, because Shaw's going to be given, and you'll see why exactly in a second, Shaw's going to be given a lot of the attacking responsibility. And we know that the one weakness we've got in Luke Shaw is his ability to get back when he's been doing attacking duties. So there is a potential weakness for United in this side is getting in behind Luke Shaw, exposing the pace of Harry Maguire on that left-hand side. If I'm 1v1 and I'm Saint-Maximin against Harry Maguire, I'm going to enjoy that, I think. I think against Wan-Bissaka or Varane, probably not going to enjoy that so much. So Newcastle was second to last in possession last season. They averaged only 38.2% with the third worst pass completion, which was also at 74.7, suggesting that they couldn't be any further from a ball playing side, and they like to sit in their 5 and play on the counter-attack with their dynamic forwards further up the pitch. Literally, you can tell that by looking at your eyes, but when you see the data and you go, yep, that's all they're doing. They've completed 47 crosses this season, which is the 5th most, showing that when they do bomb forward, what they're looking to do is deliver balls into the box for Wilson, who's actually very adept in the air at those sorts of things. And their wing play and the utilisation of wing backs, especially with Saint-Maximin in the wider areas, is actually quite good. They have got the 3rd worst defensive record so far. They've conceded 8 and only have the 2nd worst expected goals against with 6.9, with only Arsenal being the team that are worse. They're leaky at the back. They can be got at. They're a disjointed unit. They lack raw quality. You can make up for a lot of raw quality by having experience and working hard, but the quality will always shine through, and the lack of quality often can shine through as well. I think that's the issue with Newcastle. Only Chelsea, United and Liverpool have completed more through balls than Newcastle, as they always are looking to find Callum Wilson and Saint-Maximin's pace to get in behind. And really, that's the one outlet threat that they've got, and that's the one thing that we've got to look for. They also have the 2nd least defensive pressures in the attacking third with 64. Only Tottenham have less. What's this mean, Steve? It means they're going to low block. It means they're not going to press us high. It means they're not going to try and win the ball back in our third or even the middle third. They are going to completely sit in a defensive shape. They're going to try and fend us off, and they're going to try and beat us on the counter. This is how they play. And this isn't an opinion. This is pure data-driven facts. So, are they a threat to United? Yeah. Ultimately, I think United have got enough match winners to be able to get this over the line. Here is my starting 11. No shocks with De Gea in net at the moment. I think he's re-established himself as United's number one. And unless he's going to drop a couple of consistent clangers, it's probably not going to change. Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Maguire and Shaw, making that back five the easiest decision of who to pick and who to play. Now it gets trickier. Van der Beek and Matic. I know. I want to play 4-3-3. I literally play 4-3-3 myself. That's what I want to play. But I'll explain to you the reasons why. I'll give you the rest of the team first, then I'll explain to you the reasons why. Bruno in the 10, Greenwood on the right, Pogba on the left, Cristiano Ronaldo up front. The only other formation that I think United could try in this instance, I don't think they will try. And that other formation would be a diamond. And you could try a diamond with these players, in all honesty. And you can bring Greenwood alongside Ronaldo. You can move Greenwood, or you can leave Bruno at the top of the diamond. You can bring Pogba to one side, Matic to the other, or possibly Van der Beek to the other, and Matic at the base. So this 4-2-3-1 could conceivably become a 4-4-2 diamond. The problem with playing a 4-4-2 diamond against a team looking to exploit the wide areas is you basically just give free rein to those attacking fullbacks and allow them to get at your back four, particularly when Luke Shaw's probably going to have an average position of somewhere just over the halfway line, I would expect. So the diamond is an option, but I think it'll probably be, at least on paper, a 4-2-3-1. Now, I wanted to bring Cavani into this. I don't think he's going to bring Cavani into this, unless that's another option for playing the diamond and he can play them as a partnership up front. Now, if you go and check the video that we did a few weeks ago, where we looked at, or a couple of weeks, last week, let's be honest, about where Ronaldo fits into United, you'll see that he drifts off into the sort of left half sort of position a little bit, almost like a left inside forward. He's not your traditional lead in the line centre forward. He's not a hold-up centre forward. His ball-playing abilities are actually really, really good, and he comes away from the line. To get the best out of him doing that, when he comes away from the line, you've got to play pacey players. Now, Greenwood's pacey. He's not electric, but he's definitely pacey. Pogba's definitely pacey. And Bruno's got some wheels on him as well. So you actually could do this in this formation. I think to get the best out of this, though, the two people that you want in this formation, or the three people you want in this formation, if you're doing this with Ronaldo, if you're going to give him the license to come off the line, is Rashford, Greenwood and Cavani. That's who you want him to be trying to find in behind. You put something up in the air, Cavani's winning it. You put it in behind for Sancho or Rashford, they're winning it, and they've got the ability to do something when they get there as well. It's just how attacking is that formation if you're starting all of them guys. So I don't think Ole will start all of them guys from the beginning. I think he'll probably keep Cavani on the bench. There's some talk that Ronaldo's going to be kept on the bench so he can replicate his initial Manchester United debut. I don't think there's any need to start him from the bench. Just start him. Let's go get the 3 points dealt with. Let's not turn this welcome back Ronaldo thing into an absolute farce. We're here to get 3 points. He's here to help us get 3 points. He does that better by being on the pitch than he does coming on at half time or something ridiculous like that. And he's match fit. So why are we messing around? Greenwood and Pogba, they're not going to run in behind. Greenwood's more likely, but he likes it to feet. He likes to come and operate in between the lines. Paul Pogba's not going to play left wing. He's going to drift centrally, giving Bruno then the freedom to sort of start getting and raiding in behind as a second striker or a bit of a false nine. Normally, I don't like that. Against Newcastle, I kind of like that, to be honest, because they're going to have a back five. When they've got a back five, it means that someone can track all the runners. You're not going to probably get away from them. They're also not going to play a high line. So forget getting about in behind a back line. You're not getting in behind the back line. To get in behind the back line, you have to run along the bottom row of the Stretford end. So this suits a team that's willing to play in front of that defence and make holds and maybe look for overlaps and underlaps and third man runs and quick little interplay. That's how you're going to turn this Newcastle side into nothing. And that's what I think United are going to have to try and do. And having Donny van der Beek in there as well, hopefully moving the ball forward a little bit quicker. And if he doesn't start, wow. No Fred, no McTominay, and he doesn't start you, I don't care what promises you've had, they're not going to be realised. So how do United beat these? As we said, looking to operate in between the lines is going to be a massive one. But I would say, don't give them confidence. Don't let them settle. Don't let them think that they can sit here comfortably for an hour and a half. We've got to pressure early. We've got to pressure often. We've got to start fast. And we definitely have to score first. If they score first, they will park the tank. And they will completely just go 2 banks of 5 and say, break that down. And that's hard to do. I don't give a fuck if Ronaldo's playing. It's hard to do. Varane and Maguire are going to have to command their area. Newcastle utilised the width for the wing-backs really well. Matt Ritchie's a natural winger. He's got a hell of a left foot and a brilliant delivery. He can't be given space. He's a good player. The same premise lies when we played Wolves. A similar kind of system, just one less midfielder because Wolves are a little bit more defensively sound. However, the same premises against teams that have a back 3 and go to a back 5. It's not going to allow you a lot of space. This is a game that they could easily frustrate you with. So you've got to go quick passing. You've got to limit your touches. You've got to go 1 and 2 touch. You can't be looking to try and dribble through this mass of players. You've got to let the ball do the work and break the lines. Or you could be in for going in at 0-0 at half time and them thinking 45 minutes, we're halfway there. You can definitely pen the wing backs back in this so you can worry less about the threat because they're going to be definitely worrying about our threat going forward. Make it a situation where Saint-Maximin has to really drop in and support. Let him isolate Callum Wilson. You cut the supply off to him and he isn't a threat. He's just a bloke. If Saint-Maximin's running from 70 metres, he's not going to do it. If he's running from 30, 40 metres, he might do it. So don't let him get on the ball high up the pitch. Make him have to come back and collect it to feet because they can't get it to him. If Sancho's playing, isolate him against Sarri. He'll absolutely tear him to pieces. Use Richie's adventurousness against him. Get in behind him. He's the one sort of major crossing outlet that they have. Wicked. Let's raid in behind him. Almiron play on the wing and Willock probably play as a 10. They're not your typical central midfielders. You know, they're not going to do what Roy Keane and Paul Scholes did, what Petit and Vieira did. They're lads that are filling in unfamiliar roles. Exploit them defensively. Exploit them with intelligent football. Almiron struggled playing out of position and often can look lost when he's playing there. He's making, on average, more passes per game than he was last season. It's gone up slightly. But with a much more deeper role means he's done little to impact in the final third. Perfect. Let them play it around in their area. He's created 0 big chances for them this season. His tackle success has also dropped down and he's yet to have a shot on target. You can easily pin this team back and get around them. This Newcastle side look like they can be carved open, especially with quick one-touch play. And especially if you can and try and get it wide. That's why I didn't want to necessarily go with the diamond, because the wide areas is where I think you can get some space in behind those wing backs. Get in the corridor behind them, or drag one of the wide centre halves out and look for an underlapping run, particularly with Bruno and Ronaldo. Look for an underlapping run to isolate and expose one of those central centre defenders. They're not cohesive at the back. The communication's fucking ordinary, and you can get about them, punish them. You can really rack up a score against these because I think that their heads will go, and I think they'll all just do what we hopefully going to be doing tomorrow afternoon, and that is just enjoying the Cristiano Ronaldo show. That's it from me. I am just looking forward to this game. I cannot wait. It's going to be bizarre. It's 18 years. I wasn't there for his debut. I've had a season ticket since 1997, but 2003 I was in basic training for the army, so I missed almost all of the games. I think I got to one game in the one game after Christmas in the 2002-03 season. because basic training lasts essentially a year. And I missed almost all of the games at the start of the 2003-04 season. It was only once I got stationed up north I was able to start coming back regularly to go to games. So I missed Ronaldo's debut. I don't even think I watched it on TV. I don't think it was a game that was televised at the time. But saw most of his career at United. And I remember the 2006-07 season just being absolutely in awe of the just raw talent that he had, of how effective he was as a footballer. And I think he hit a height that not any other player has ever managed to hit in a United shirt. Cantona made me fall in love with football. I've been going to United since I was 6 years old. We had a membership. Used to regularly get chubbed. Used to regularly get the letter saying you've been unsuccessful in the ballot. Up until about 1997 when we got a season ticket. And obviously could go every game then. And I kept my season ticket all the way through having my job in the army. The weird thing about United season tickets is you could never get them in your name. People died and season tickets were just passed down through families. My season ticket was in the name of a guy called James Matthews. I never met him. I don't even know who he is. And I had that for years and years and years in K-stand. And then towards the end of the Fergie's reign, I wanted to go and sit back with my dad again. After Joe being young and embarrassed to be with your dad in your 20s and that, I wanted to go and watch the match with my dad. And now going to the match with my dad's one of my fucking biggest pleasures. I love it. It's something I've done for 31 years. And I love it. But yeah, Ronaldo's probably the best player I've seen in that time. Just fucking unbelievably good. And he went away from United. When you look at, his stats are probably below me in here. Just the sheer number of goals he's scored at every single club he's been at. And I find it hilarious that when he came to United, he was a no-end product. That was his thing. No, he had no-end products. And he's gone on to have like more product than anyone ever. Like breaking records for how much product he's had. And you could see it early. You could see it from way before he ended up moving centrally. I always thought he'd make a great number 9. His movement, his aerial ability is sensational. And he left United as the best player in the world, and he's come back as the greatest player in the world. And that's hard to do. And it's crazy to think, just this club down the road, this one football team down the road, the greatest player in the world ever plays here. And I know it's Manchester United, and it's one of the bigger clubs in the world. But I was just sitting there yesterday thinking, this is madness. And do you know what? Since 2005, it hasn't ever felt like United were a big draw. It felt like Sir Alex Ferguson kept our heads above water for a long time. But we lost everything that was about United. We lost United's soul. There's been fallouts with fans leading to the formation of FC United in 2005 because of this current ownership. We saw an underinvestment from 2005 to 2013 under Sir Alex Ferguson's reign. We tried to play catch up by spending a lot of money, and it didn't work. And I don't think we're even title contenders now. But there's a buzz about Manchester United at the moment. Cristiano Ronaldo is still good enough to come and make a massive difference. He's probably going to be worth almost a goal a game, probably like 0.9 of a goal a game still in the Premier League for United. That's enough to turn most of your draws. 9 out of 10 of your draws are going to get turned into a win. Probably 50% of your losses might get turned into a draw. That's how good an impact he's able to go and have. And it makes you go, what if he'd never have left? What if those 600, 700 goals he scored since then were all in the Stretford End or at Old Trafford or in the Premier League? What the last 10 years might have looked like, 8 years without a title. And time has crept up on us so much, so fast, that I will probably get to 9 years. Will we get to 10? Now, I think Solskjaer's had quite a lot of valid criticism. But in amongst the valid criticisms, just utter fucking nonsense. United had two of the greatest managers football has ever seen underachieve at this club, in Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. If they couldn't make it work here, then the club wasn't set up to be a successful club. And I think what Ollie has done, when you look at the starting 11 he inherited and you look at the starting 11 he has built, whether or not you think he's the guy to win us a title, he's transformed this football club. For 12 years, we've all seen the rumours, dismissed the rumours, believed the rumours, hoped the rumours would be true that we'd ever see Ronaldo lining up in a United shirt again. Now, I know Solskjaer himself did not do this. But the fact that he's been the one that's oversaw the transformation of the side, no longer are we looking at a defence of Ashley Young and Antonio Valencia. We've got some of the most exciting talent in Europe in Sancho and in Rashford. We've got some world-class footballers in Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. We've got unreal goal scorers in Cavani and in Cristiano Ronaldo. And world-class centre defenders in Maguire and Varane. There's really good talent across the squad. And shout out Luke Shaw, he's doing bits at the moment. There's some exciting talent waiting to burst through into this team. And we ain't perfect. We're lacking in midfield, which is a crucial position. I believe in this team. I believe in the ability of this team to be able to go and win some trophies. But it can't be as black and white as if he doesn't win the league, he has to be sacked. Because the progress and the progression has been clear, it's been obvious, and it's been fucking good. There is a genuine desire to go to Old Trafford now from people. I mean, I don't give a fuck. I'm going anyway. I was going no matter what. I was going if it was fucking Fred up front, right? The fact it's Ronaldo's a treat. And this season's going to be a fucking interesting one. I hope it's the best one since 2013. I really do. We've had some silverware. I've seen us win trophies under Louis, seen us win trophies under Jose Mourinho, saw us win a Charity Shield under Moyes. Thought everything was going to be fine. And we haven't won a trophy under Ollie. Maybe you've got to stop measuring every single aspect of football in trophies alone. Trophies are a massive part of it, but they're not the everything of it. Because under Solskjaer, I feel more like my old Manchester United is back. And I fucking love that. Viva Ronaldo. Let's fucking have it tomorrow. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.